Morning guys, welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is the second of two live streams today. Second of two live streams. The first live stream focused on this. What you see is what you get. Of course, the previous live stream we covered a whole bunch of mess. Absolute chaos, absolute mess. We had paperwork from all sorts of different things. We had forms, mail, crafts, and they were coming from insurance, from university days, from the government, from financial institutions. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff, a whole slew, a whole bunch of mess, again accumulating over the course of 2 to 3 weeks. Of course, this is all one small segment, paperwork, files, a small segment of, I suppose, again, the Ahn Rho Project, specifically the sub-series BMDP, standing for Basics, Decontamination, Purification, and yada yada. Basically what I need to get done in a daily life just so that I can get along with business and employment and with volunteering and with everything, and as well as taking care of health and disease of myself as well as my guardians, and I'm a caregiver now as well. So moving down, okay, so back to things here. Of course, Ahn Rho Project, self-therapeutic multimedia project for me to solve problems and challenges in my life, as well as self-improvement process for me to reach the heights and goals that I set for myself. All right, nice. Now, this second live stream, we were continuing off of paperwork. We have a lot of paperwork. You can see that. We covered the stuff over here. There's still some stuff I need to get done. I at least sorted it out so that's nice and organized. I have to return one of these actually back to my guardians because it went to ER. That's not actually my form. Now, there is a little bit that I need to write down, and then I'll be done with all this. What's left is now all the paperwork, books, paperwork, invoices, right? You take a look at the title, what you see is what you get. Even notes, everything that's, I guess, business related is being covered here. Part of that, again, research, molecular, cellular, nutritional company. Of course, that's going to be down here. And we're just going to have to run through all this so that I can actually start to work with it and get sorted and archive and stash away what I need to get stashed away and start reading the material that I need to learn from, especially since my background is in biomedical science. I'm a very STEM oriented person: science, engineering, technology, statistical, mathematical analyses. These are the kind of things, this is the stuff of my life. This is basically what saved me from a lot of the domestic issues in the household when I was largely the first 2 decades of my life. So with that being said, this does get personal, but I will say that this is I'm going to try to stay away from that and just focus on the paperwork here today. So what do we have? We have, I guess, well, the most simplest thing we can start off with is right here. Okay, we see 2 books. Okay, one is from the founder, their story as a microbiologist way back in the 1960s, and this is something, that material that I need to read. Behind it is actually another book, and this one is focused more on the science, and so obviously that has a lot to do with molecular research and especially cellular metabolic pathways. So that's the kind of stuff that I really need to get familiar with if I am actually going to understand the products that not only am I taking, but eventually going to be distributing. So I'm put that to the side and move it up here so that's out of the way, and we can sort of sort everything together. We have 3 areas here. Again, sorting out the room has been a real challenge. Again, logistical review is another one of my sub-series of the Ahn Rho Project focused on life management. So we have 1, region A, the office. B, here's all this storage. C, the closet. Everything's a mess, I know. D is this huge region here, so D1, D2, D3, and D4. So you can see all the products here, long story short, in the paperwork, and the invoices, the booklets, the whatever. Everything is just sort of scattered around in D1 to D2. And so specifically the products I covered in the previous live stream, I said I still have to get sorted out. I talked about it already, but I only managed to get at least half of it done. The rest of the stuff here I'm going to cover in terms of paperwork right here, right now, so that I can start moving things around from the original place. Obviously, I kept them the way they were just so I could do this live stream. Now, moving on, so the book's done, okay? We have some guides here, so introduction guides. I need to largely separate the things that are gifts, specifically class 4 items. Class 4 items are things that I receive from fellow colleagues or team workers or basically other people who are working with me as a part of this partnership. And I separate those things almost like, things that I want to say, what's the word? Gratitude. I want to show some gratitude and appreciation for them. I separate those things, those items, from class 1 items. Class 1 items are things I purchased with my own hard-earned money through my own earned income. So I can move this to the side, and I have to say that this is obviously a gift item, so I don't really know. I think I'll put it with the books here. The books actually are also gift items too. and I should probably move the food away just to be safe. To be sure, I'll put it here, and we can no, two separate piles, but two separate piles, and I hope nothing falls down. Okay, just leave it like that. Get out of the way. We have a lot of welcome kits. So here's one. This is basically for clients. If they make a new purchase and join as a member, they get a welcome kit. And obviously there's a lot of paperwork on the inside. I'm not going to open and show. I don't want to, again, I want to separate. I want to keep things as separate as possible between this project and the side business I'm running, as well as my full-time employment, and any organizations in general, because this is kind of more like my personal kind of stuff. And one day this project will birth into something much more major, but for now I want to keep things separate. So that's one welcome kit, but in fact there's actually more welcome kits because I have more than obviously one client. And so what I'm doing, I'm going to stick my hand underneath here. You see basically that's a fax machine inside that red bag, and that's a gift from one of my colleagues, but we won't touch on that today. That's a device I'll have to speak about some other time. So we have more welcome kits, more welcome packages, and moving up here. And obviously these welcome kits I have to mention on stream came from inside these packages. So speaking of packages, we can just jump right towards this. This package, typically I don't really have anything to cover in terms of paperwork here for the shipping packages, but the thing is, they have a lot of addresses on them. Obviously I can't show it to the stream. That doesn't make any sense. But needless to say, I want to keep the boxes. So a lot of these were just return orders. Half of them were, and the other were just actually just orders that I didn't pick up on time, and that was my responsibility, my fault. And so they shipped it over. That's great and all, but if I'm going to use the boxes, I'm going to take off all the labels. So I've taken off for example, Canada Post, obviously in Canada. So I'm going to take off all of this. I've taken what do you call it? Just right here. I've taken this utility knife, pick one really easy from Dollarama, and it's for like $1 or $2, and just cut them up. Now I have a much better one, obviously, that I bring to the warehouse when I go to work, again in PPE and safety equipment. But needless to say, that one's for work, and this one is just I just bought this for the blade, but I can make use of it for now. And so I cut it open, and what I did is I slivered and skinned off, I guess you could say, peeled off all the labels. Skin sounds so disgusting, man. But I skinned off all the labels with exception to just one of them. And so you see all this mess here, that's what this is. So this garbage is all sticky and nasty. I want to pull it off right now and say that thank goodness I can get rid of this shit. This fucking garbage right here, man. Driving me insane. Stick this right here. I know that my live streams are not very professional. Obviously, you strike a very different tone when you're in the public versus in the private. Also, especially when it comes to the role that you play at a job, you obviously do things differently in your own time. And what I'm going to do is stick all that label stuff inside here because there's no need for any of this junk. Again, I can't show them to the camera with any specificity because of confidentiality, and obviously I just don't want to do it. That's just not very nice. Why would you show someone this dress? All right, moving down here. So what else do I have to say about this? It's very important that I do, because the fact is inside, this was supposed to be closed. This was the only package that was closed as of the previous maybe 2 days ago. I did a live stream, maybe 3 days actually, when I covered the products in here. Now the funny thing is, I said I had to sort out the bubble wrap and the products and the cardboard boxes and the bags. Well, inside here we have this. I didn't plan on opening. This is the last one to open, and I didn't open it. I figured I would do it on stream, but I didn't. The reason why I had to open it, I just have to mention, is that inside there are some again antioxidant and vitamin and mineral type nutritional supplements inside that I'm actually using myself, and so I've taken them out. This one actually is a return order for me, and so I could take that out and I'm going to use that. Inside is actually a welcome kit. Okay, and I'm going to place this welcome kit right over here and take out the invoice. So the invoice was next to the welcome kit, basically inside, and that's why it's important to actually cover this product, this box of product, because the invoice is inside. So I'm going to move this over here, and we're going to get to the invoices in a second. But needless to say, going to work, I actually ran out of my own supplements, so I had to open this box and grab that out. And more importantly, I just need the invoice and the welcome package to be taken out so that I can group things all together. Again, you see the product inside. I'm not going to show it with any detail. I'm just going to close that, and no, keep it open. So the products need to be sorted out. The bags need to be sorted out, the products need to be sorted out. So I have to take everything out and put them all together and find a way to organize them. I can use the casings, obviously, for storage. So this knife here, finally I can put it away. This was a danger, it was hazard just to have a knife open like that. So I'm going to stick it back away under here for my employment-related materials. So this is business, this is employment. Okay, moving back on top here. So we're here again, once again, and now we have all the welcome kits out and the invoice is taken out. So now let's get to the invoice. So I was talking about that, right? Now we have next to the invoice some forms. We'll get to that in a second. I'll turn it over. I'm not going to obviously show invoices. I'm not, that's ridiculous. But you can see on the side here, there's at least a long stack, maybe eight or so invoices. Some of them are automatic orders. And so inside actually has another, not just inside are the invoices, but inside there's also another slip of paper that has customer information. Just a small card. Think of like a one of those study cards that you use when you're at taking post-secondary education at a college or university, or maybe just in high school. Maybe you use study cards. Basically, one of those cards has information there. So that's that. Okay, and this paperwork now can go up here as well. In fact, I should open the invoice and put it properly, but I'm not going to do that on stream. Duh. So down here we have forms, and I'm going to flip them over. They're not filled out, so that's okay. And there's far away too. So these two forms right here, there's 4 pieces of paper. There's actually 2 different forms. One of them is for retail receipts. So I want to, in case I have any customers who are not purchasing automatic and they're not members either, they just want to buy one-time purchase, in which case they won't be joining. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. So what I'm going to do is just, of course, for them, they still need a receipt though. So I printed out one of these just for a sample, also for me to learn about the forms. And then there's another form here for auto deposit. So obviously, that way I don't have to receive payments or pay stubs by mail, especially during the pandemic. It doesn't make any sense to have people drop off mail at your doorstep. Also, just not just for safety measures, but why would you risk losing your money, in the mail? That's just dumb. So get the auto deposit. I take the forms, stick it under here, more paperwork, and yeah. So that there's a whole lot of stuff here. I think at this point it makes sense for me to separate the stuff from the previous live stream, but I don't really have the ability to do that when I'm live streaming because one hand's holding everything and the other hand's over here. So that's stuff over there. Okay, moving down. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of books here. Now this is going to be a headache, as well as some business material down here. So all these books here, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've made some purchases of books. These are third-party review guides of the company. So again, scientific research and development. We get a lot of companies that evaluate our standards. So obviously I purchased some of these. We are one of the world leading companies. In fact, we are the world leading. So that all these books here, in fact, if I could, I would put them up there, but the funny fact is obviously I can't. They're so heavy. And now suddenly I have space. So let's move this bag up now. So this is what it's all been about, right? Doing these live streams, I can actually start to clean up my act after the 3 months of hell and everything going to chaos because everything fell, it's like having a midlife crisis, that kind of stuff. Thank goodness I had a lot of experience with that when I was young. Well, it wasn't pleasant, but it's good for you in the long run. So I can manage to do it. So all that kind of stuff there. Last but not least, we have a lot of stuff here. Class 2 items once again. Tutorial teaching material relating to the business. I can't go through with that. You can see some of that's in Chinese. Again, I speak Cantonese. And then on the side here, we have more order information. I can't really show that in too much detail. There's that invoice. So more books. This here, more books. So I made a mistake. There's actually more books. This bag should go down here. Drop it on the side for now. We'll cover next live stream. Books here. And finally, order confirmation. So the next stuff here I cannot cover. I just do a take-home message really quickly. I'll save this for the next live stream. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, take care of your finances. See a better version of yourself as well, myself, the next live stream. 15 minutes tops. I can't continue live streaming like this. See you tomorrow morning when we continue off of this. When we focus on business materials. Ciao, this is Ahn Rho signing out.